Just pulled up to my last service call of the day, and I'm hoping it's not this behemoth. Actually, you know what? I don't mind it. I'll take the challenge. It'll be my first time working on that, but it is what it is. This is new territory for me. So it is a single stage, or I mean just a one heat, one cool, really, but I don't know, it's my first time ever working on something like this. So we got 2 compressors. So does that mean it's 2 circuits? But they're only running off the one. Let me stop over analyzing this. Let's try to keep it simple. Get this panel off. Let's start figuring out what we got and what we don't got before I make this more complicated. Alright. Everything seems to be single phase, so I ain't gotta worry about 3-phase stuff. Never worked on 3-phase stuff, but I'd like to learn. Brother would like to learn. I see. Oh my gosh, I got a phone call. Alright. So it looks like the transformer's running 230. So let me just see if I got 24 volts here to here. I do have 24 volts there. There's no way this is a blown fuse somewhere. I'm not even seeing one except, is that the fuse? Would that technically be it? Is it tripped? I think. Maybe. Oh, I did click back out. Okay, so what's up with that? Alright. So I do think we have some type of low voltage short, because if oh, it won't even let me reset it now. Okay. But I was pushing that in and it wait like 2-3 seconds and then it tripped right back. So gonna have to try to track down and see what could be the cause of this low voltage short. This is fun. Let's see if I can figure this one out. Alright, so I kind of got a little hands-on real quick, but because the sun's beaming like right here, I don't want to leave my phone out in areas so it'll mess up. But I checked from that contactor, that had 14 ohms, that contactor had 11, and that one had 12.2. So I think the contactors are fine. I don't think those are shorted, but I do remember from a couple other YouTubers videos that do a lot of commercial stuff. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but I know one of them is Reliable HVACR. I think he primarily works on kitchens, but that dude, his content's awesome. Go check him out. But a lot of people say on commercial, when you're dealing with low voltage shorts, especially on systems that are old, you know, everybody's just in here doing anything they can to get stuff running. And I found bare copper coming off of this. So I'm gonna check and trim that back and see what I can do. Alright, so, let me go ahead and snip this part of the zip tie real quick. I know it kind of looks weird, but I was able to trim it back, wire nut it correctly, or I guess not correctly, just wire nut it. And then I wrapped this edge of the pipe where it was originally sitting at, I wrapped it with electrical tape. I got a zip tie on it, and then I wrapped the wire around that because it just wanted to kind of hug here anyway. So I've got it sitting there now, but it's not actually touching the copper, and it's kind of secured, so I don't think it's going to rub. I think it's just going to sit there. Maybe that's the right way to do it, maybe not, but I've got it to where if it rubs, it's going to rub against electrical tape first, and it's going to have to rub through that to then get to the copper. I got this is kind of rubbing against that, but it hasn't seemed to left any kind of marks thus far, so I'll just leave that be. Tighten this up a little bit so these weren't resting on any of the pipes right here, but I reset the switch. Let's see what happens. Woo! My first time ever working on one of these. Got it running. I'm gonna put, if I can get my stuff together here real quick. I'm gonna put that up against there, just like that, so I can go inside and get delta T's. I did look at the wiring. I was wrong. It's not a single stage. It is a 2-stage. They just have it wired to run 2-stage and first and second stage at the same time. And it's a heat pump, but I think, there's no gas line coming here, so I'm assuming it's a heat pump. I don't think. Yeah, it's just the drain line there. But yeah, there's the ductwork too. I don't know what that's about, but I don't even know why this is here. So I'm gonna go inside, get the probes put up in there, and see exactly what we're dealing with. But I will be dead honest, the sheer size of this, the fact that I see, commercial guys work on this all the time, and I'm like, bro, I'm just a simple residential tech. I don't know what, I pray to God this ain't 3-phase. And I know a lot of guys in the trade say 3-phase isn't anything scary. I don't think it's scary. It's just, I'm put in front of something that I don't know nothing about. Was like, fuck, I don't want to have to do that. But I'm kind of glad it was just a simple tripped I guess transformer, but because it's not a blown fuse. But let's go get these up in the duct and see what we're working with. All right, I'm not done yet. This compressor is running, that compressor is not. However, all the contactors were pulled in, and I had 240 at the tops and the bottoms for all the contactors. I know this one was cooling because this thing is sweating up a storm like a Hebrew slave out in the cotton fields. But this line isn't, it's kind of warm. The compressor itself is cool to the touch, it's not even hot. So I tried to look on the diagram. It doesn't really show any capacitors for this, aside from the fan motors. All of these just seem to go to a different leg on a different contactor. Like if red and brown or black and yellow go to the bottom of one contactor, the orange, but in this instance the blue goes to the top side of another contactor. It doesn't make sense to me for this diagram, but I gotta try and track down where this blue goes and figure out what's going on, because I don't see this light blue color wire up there anywhere. So I'm gonna do that now and see where I can go from there. Might have just jinxed myself earlier, because now this is coming to be a can of worms that I don't want to open. Let me show you what I'm working with now. So again, I traced the wire back. The blue that comes off of there ends up going right here with the blue and the orange wire attached to this other blue like it's supposed to be. So I don't know exactly what is the problem here, but what I'm gonna do is look up that on the Copeland app for this compressor while checking out these ohm readings and seeing what they're supposed to be. Because I thought this wasn't a 3-phase. This seems to be the 3-phase, because there's no dedicated ground wire that any of these are connected to my knowledge. Let me just double check. Oh no, okay, it is. Those ones are connected there, but I see 3 wires here, but somehow this blue is connected to something. I don't know what it's connected to. So let's go ahead and see what these ohm readings are going to be from common to start. I got 1.1. From common to run, I got 1.1. So if I don't know if it's exactly like what's supposed to happen, like if it's a dead, you got a bad compressor or not, but common to start, common to run should equal the same as start to run from what I've been told. So from there to there is 1.1. So I'm gonna check to see if that's within specs of there, and maybe I have a bad compressor, because from what I can tell, I have voltage going to it, and there's no capacitor here, so I gotta believe that compressor is bad, and that isn't doing anything except for giving 3 degrees of delta T. So let me check this app real quick, and I'll probably have already put up the screenshot of what it's supposed to be reading. So I phoned a friend, I'm not gonna lie, just my mentor trying to give me some advice on this, because I know he's come across more units like this than I have, and he did correct me. I guess on three-phase systems, your compressor should read like the same amount of resistance, across each side. So like with me pulling 1.11 ohms of resistance across everything, the compressor's windings are fine. I think the compressor's just dead on this. I mean, I know I've got my voltage going there, because I've checked, again, everything at all the contactors. The wires are there. There's no rub outs coming in between the wires going to the compressor, so I have no idea why it's, aside from it's just a dead compressor. I got power going there, but it's not working. The same thing you would find if you had a condenser fan motor with a good capacitor, and you got your contactors pulling in, your compressor's running, but the fan motor's not running. So 240 is coming through the contactor because it's pressed in, but fan motor just won't run. I mean, you could try and cool it off, but if it's already cooled to the touch, then more than likely your motor's just dead. So in this instance, pretty sure the compressor's just dead. But let's see what I'd have to do to figure out how we could replace it. Looking at the diagram, the compressor I'm working on has black, yellow, and blue, so it's compressor 1. So I'm gonna guess that's circuit 1, system 1, however it wants to say. If I come over here to the tag, system 1 is 7.6 pounds of R22. Now, I get to call up our local distributor. I'm probably going to call our Tempstar people, since Bryant, Carrier, Payne, it's all going to be the same crap. And since this is under warranty, I can definitely go through Ed and see if they could even get a hold of this compressor, how much it's going to be, and give this property management a price on it. Because I don't know if I can even really truly test if I'll get a good reading of the pressures if only one system is handling the load. I mean, is that possible? Especially with this being wired for, both stages to be running at the same time. I don't know. I guess theoretically, yeah, it should be. It would just tell me that system's doing all it can and it's charged right. So I can check that. I'll go ahead and check that. Let me do that. Let me put the wires and everything back up, and I'll get my field piece stuff on there and see what we got to do. I was oblivious to this. I didn't even notice this. They just dangling here, not strapped up or nothing. But I cut the system on, and only the compressor came on. Nothing else did. I don't know why. So now I got to check these out. I already looked at both that motor and that motor. They're aftermarket, universals, but I think so. I only ever see the reversible things on universal motors. I don't ever see them on OEM, so I'm assuming that, but don't quote me. They're both 7.5 though. 7.5 on this one, 7.5 on that one. Let's see what they're reading. 6.8. 6.8. That's more than fine for their allowance. Jesus Christ. They don't feel hot. That's a lie. That's a lie. Not scorching, but they're kind of hot. And I don't see a spigot anywhere for me to be able to just quickly douse these things in water. Let me see over here. Oh, is there a knob on this? I don't think so. No. All right. I mean, it wasn't going to work anyway if the fan motors kicked on, because the the second compressor is just gone. So I like this. This was fun. A little bit scary at first, but it was fun. That's it for that one. I'm gonna go ahead, send over a quote to replace the compressor, liquid line dryer, clean all that stuff out, and hopefully I'll be the one to go back and do that repair if they don't send another company out to go behind me. I mean, I'm fairly confident I got the right call. Let me know in the comments what you guys would have done if you'd have been in that situation. Again, that was my second time ever being in front of a system like that. First time for an electrical issue. The first time ever was just a simple low refrigerant issue that didn't take me too long to figure out, because the property management already told us people have been going back and forth there for refrigerant problems. So we just filled it up, added a sealant, and haven't been called back out there since. But to my knowledge, I feel like it's a dead compressor. I mean, glad I found the low voltage short at the beginning of it, but couldn't really figure out what made that other compressor go. I don't even know if there's anything wrong with the first circuit at this point. I should have been smarter and put my gauges on the first time, but that's a learning experience, because I don't know why the fan motors didn't want to cut back on. So that's that. If you guys got any tips for me for if I go back to do that repair, leave them in the comments. If this is some content you enjoy watching, check out my other videos, leave a like on this one, and I will catch you guys on the next one.